Well, hello, hello, hello. I like to say hip hip hooray. It's time to make more art today. I love when we come together for these times. I like to call today's session You've Got Mail. Maybe you haven't heard that. That was an old phrase. But I have these envelopes that come and I have started taking them apart because we don't use these envelopes. And they've come in the mail and it's paper, and every artist needs paper. But the thing about these that's really nice is the inside of the envelope has these cool designs on them. So I've been saving them and I've been using them to make tiny works of art. Now, if you look really closely, you can see the lines on this piece of paper, but I'm more distracted by these amazing stars. This tiny piece had a design that went up and down, left and right, and I just used a marker and turned it on the wide side and just went down with a color down each row. Then I made a few going the other way, so it looks sort of like a very colorful rainbow plaid. But look at these designs. This looks like wood grain. Doesn't that look like wood grain? This is just stripes. Ooh, making my eyes dizzy. Here we go. So tiny you can hardly see them. This comes from what are called security envelopes. I started coloring on this one, but I didn't finish. This one, ooh, has a lot going on. Lets you know this paper was recycled, and they'd like you to continue to recycle it. This one looks like water droplets. Aren't these cool? I just think they're so beautiful. So when I discovered them, I said, I'm not going to throw these away. I'm going to make tiny works of art. And maybe during some really quiet moments, I might mail some of my creations out to my friends. Well, here's one that I started. And I usually cut on the fold that's there. And I cut off this shiny part, the window. That leaves me with this nice pattern. Lovely. Now this probably will just go away, and this I'm not thinking about that right now. Let me show you how I do the envelopes. I start by cutting off the edges, the parts that are glued on. I just cut as straight as I possibly can. These are the parts that are glued together. I don't want to rip it. Voila. So once I open it, I like to cut the flap off and then start cutting it into sections, chunks that I can really use. So this big piece right here at the top is one that I definitely know I would like to use. I like that design. But these white parts, I just want them to go. Since it's not all the way around, it would be cool if it was all the way around. It would look like a picture frame. But since it's not, I'm just going to cut it off. Good. Now I can add this to my stack. I'll do that later. So I have all of these just waiting, and when sometimes I'm sitting here and my TV's across the room, and if I'm just watching a little bit of the news, I might start doodling. I want this to say love. I folded it into 4 parts. There's going to be an L, the heart, the VE. The heart represents the O, the letter O. Let's see. Have some markers here. And all I did was I followed along straight down a row with the tip of my marker making dots. See how cool this pattern is? It just gives me ideas. So now I'm doing like pixel art or like Ben-Day dots like the pop artists did. I think I need another row. Want that L to be a little bit thicker, so one more row of purple dots. And guess what? When I'm done with the purple, I'll start adding colors to the background. Isn't that cool? Love. So there's lots of different ways that you can find little pieces of paper to use to make art. I've been doing this since I was a child, finding the most unlikely things, things that might perhaps get thrown away, to make something beautiful and give it to someone. It always takes people. I would have never thought to do that, some people might say. This is great right here. This love. This one's great. I might have to try this again if I ever find this pattern. That's beautiful. So once again, remember what I always say, art makes you smart. I think it makes you a genius. I feel like a genius for thinking of this. Come back and join me another day, and we will make art together and make new discoveries and find new creative ways to make the world a beautiful place by making some art and leaving it behind.